Hey, you've been listening and nodding along thinking, I'll start speaking when I feel more ready. But here's the truth: clarity and confidence, they come from doing. That's why I created In Demand, my monthly membership for people just like you who are ready to grow their business with speaking. Even if you're not sure what to do, where to find opportunities, or what to say once you get that opportunity, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. And we'll make sure that you don't do it alone. Doors are open now, and our next live call is coming up. So if this has been tugging at you, consider this your sign. You can join us at speakandstandout.com/IND for In Demand, and that link is down below. Your audience is waiting, and I promise the moment that you step up, the right people will start paying attention to you. You are listening to Be In Demand. This is the podcast that is all about how to leverage public speaking events to get positioned as the expert, attract your ideal clients, and why not monetize your message at the very same time? Today is a speaker breakthrough session, and this is where somebody in the audience, one of my listeners, has raised their hand and said, Hey, I would love to come on the show and do some live coaching. And Karen Gombault is today's speaker breakthrough session coachee. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Laurie-Ann. Thank you for having me.
Karen, what do you do? Who do you help? And what do you speak on?
So I'm an executive coach. I help women who are taking on new jobs. So
Okay.
specifically at that moment when they have either gotten promoted or are changing within their company. And I speak on two big topics. One of them is visibility in networking, and the other one is navigating politics.
Mm.
And those two subjects are, of course, very important when you're starting a new job.
Okay. I love them both. Great topics to speak on. Um, is there a certain level of female client that you work with? That's the first thing that came to mind when you told me what you do.
So I mainly work with director, VP, and SVP level
Okay.
primarily.
I love how specific you are, by the way. Thank you. Is there a particular industry that you work with?
Mainly service industry. So marketing services, consulting, advertising, financial services, but those are primarily my go-to industries.
All right, you've already checked a couple of my boxes because you're very specific and you have a very specific industry. I love that. And the financial industry like loves education, financial and insurance. They love to educate their people. They are constantly investing in their people. So what would you like to get out of our time together?
So one thing that I would love clarity on is a catchphrase
Hmm.
because I the one thing I would say that I haven't completely ironed out in my public speaking is I speak to people who buy directly from me. And I also am speaking to HR directors or hiring directors and who want to invest in people that they've hired.
Right.
So I'm navigating between marketing B2B and B2C. And I would love to have a catchphrase because I do a lot of speaking, video, podcasts, etc.,
Mhm.
public speaking that resonates with both if I could find one that makes it work. So it's very tactical request today, but it's such a powerful marketing tool. And that's why I wanted to talk to you.
Okay. Do you love mine?
I do.
That's such a loaded question. Like, if you don't think yes, and you know what mine is, speaking's the fastest way to grow your
Yeah.
business. Speaking's the fastest way to get focused visibility. Speaking's the fastest way to grow your email list. Mine is a little bit interchangeable, and it depends on what I'm talking about, so I actually can change it a little bit. Let's talk about yours.
Mm,
I did a whole episode on how to it was basically like a master class on this. What is your vehicle? Because that's what speaking is. I wanna know what your vehicle is for helping your clients get from point A to point B,
mm,
and what's the result that they're looking for. Now, I'm saying this, and at the same time, I think you have at least 2 different catchphrases. One for the person who is actually hiring you, because and then the second one is because you already mentioned HR people who are going to bring you in to invest in their people that they just promoted, the women. So you need a catchphrase also for them.
mm. Okay. So my vehicle,
Which one you wanna work on?
I think I would prefer um HR people who are going to bring me in.
Okay. Okay, great. So, what is your vehicle when you are talking to HR people?
Uh, I almost want to say it's too premature because I've just started going after this market.
Ooh, say it anyways.
Um, my vehicle up until now has been mental fitness. So mental fitness is the capacity to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than a negative mindset. And my point A to point B, but I don't know if this really answers your question, is the people that I work with go into a new job doubting and asking a lot of questions. So they go from doubt um, to really, I call it leading or it's empowerment. But they go from that doubting state to a confident state, and they're doing it through mental fitness.
Okay, how many people know what mental fitness is?
No, like nobody. That's part of the
Okay,
education that I've been doing.
we are not gonna use that.
Okay.
Because you don't wanna have let me explain to you what mental fitness is, because you'll get that glass-eyed look from people. I need to move on to the next person that I need to talk to, okay? Just gonna give it to you straight because
Yeah, I
I'm
prefer
doing
you
what you
do.
do.
I
Okay,
prefer
so we're
you
gonna
do.
get rid of that.
Okay.
What's something else?
Um, we work on executive presence.
I love that one, and that's the one that I was thinking. I literally was, "Can I get her to come up with this?" Executive presence.
And people know what that is.
Every
Usually.
yes, HR is gonna know what that is. HR is gonna know what that is versus mental fitness.
Mm.
Okay, alright, so executive presence is the we can just use fastest for the moment, but it's usually some sort of like extreme, some sort of superlative fastest. Like you don't want to say good or best. I want it to be the sort of word that makes people like, okay.
Mm.
So that's why like I use fastest because, when you're on stage, I mean, it just builds that know, like, and trust the fastest way versus like any other way that you could be trying to attract clients. All right, so what's the ideal result? If executive presence is the fastest way to
Uh, the result is so this is doesn't sound marketing speak yet, but the result is to like embrace your new responsibilities so that you can come up to speed much more
Mhm,
quickly so that you can so it's you're collapsing time.
mhm,
That's the on the onboarding, it's because if an HR professional, that's what they want, is they want people to come on board and get up to speed very quickly. Um, So that's the result is, I think, is that
Okay, okay.
people are, yeah, I mean, I hate to the word confident is overused sometimes, but it's like stepping into their job without doubting.
Okay. I don't see there's any reason why we can't add confidence in there because
Yeah.
executive presence is confidence.
Mm.
It's not faking it. So I think we can somehow get confidence in there. Executive presence is the fastest way to something about confidence.
Yeah, it's not build, you don't build confidence to um convey, radiate.
Let's talk about your clients for a moment and
Yeah.
not HR. What are some of the results and using your clients' words? What would they say if I was interviewing them? What did Karen
Mm.
help you do? They would say, she gave me, I learned.
Um, I would say, so I'm trying to think about people who I've got coaching now. They are, so what it comes down to is like navigating, like not second guessing themselves, navigating sticky situations without getting, I guess the thing is it's big picture thinking. It's thinking strategically, it's understanding what matters and where they can add value and where they can have an impact as opposed to, like, getting caught in the weeds or getting sucked into the small details. That's what's really, it's helping people see the bigger picture, think about where they need to go, do what matters so that they can have an impact more quickly in their new job.
That's a lot of words, though.
Yes, it is. It is. So the way I've said it right up until now is like stop doubting, start leading. But again, it's
Stop doubting,
start leading.
start leading. Okay, I do like that. I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
And I think the people who are hiring you directly, the people that you work with, that's a fantastic catchphrase.
Mm,
Stop doubting, start leading. Because I can see, like, in a presentation to have, like, whatever it is, like the tip or the point that you are sharing with your audience, and then you end with stop doubting, start leading.
mm,
That can mean so many things without having to say everything. Because that doubting, right, there's imposter syndrome, second guessing yourself, not trusting your decisions. You don't have to say all those things. You get to say, stop doubting,
mm.
start leading. Like people can make those pictures in their mind. I like that for when you are speaking to an audience or one on one with the people who you would actually be working with.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for your HR people, executive presence is the fastest way to navigating teams.
Mm.
Or navigation something. As soon as you said the word navigation, I was, ooh, I love that. It's different.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's navigating, um, I want to say it's navigating, um, is it the unknown?
How about position success?
Say the whole
Say
thing.
the whole thing. Executive
Executive
presence
presence.
is the fastest way to navigating position success or to the navigation of position success. And
So,
here's another reason why I kind of like this. Executive presence is the fastest way to navigating, because then whatever you're talking about in your speech, politics, networking, navigating politics,
oh,
that phrase becomes changeable.
mm, yeah. Okay.
Okay, you say it.
So, executive presence is the fastest way to navigating uh executive presence is the fastest way
To
to I'll bet
navigate.
something in the English sounds funny with it. Is it
Yeah,
to navigate? Is it
I think
for navigating?
I think navigate.
Is the fastest way to navigate networking or to executive presence is the fastest way to navigate
Navigate
politics.
networking, navigate office politics, navigate success, new position success,
Mm, fastest way.
respect to
Mm,
leadership.
mm,
Executive presence is the fastest way to navigate confidence. And I think there's so much there.
mm. So people know what executive presence is.
In your world, yes.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
ask a
yeah.
plumber, they'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
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 But not your people.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll practice, read it. It's kind of
That's
kind
exactly
of
what I want you to do, is just to say it again and again and again
yeah.
so that it literally just rolls off your tongue. And I would start, are you, where do you do social media? Do you do any sort of content? Start
Yeah.
using it
Okay.
and let's see if we can get people to respond.
My only question is it is are people going to say Karen only works on executive presence? That's my question. Does it pigeonhole me or not? Or do I want to be a little bit pigeonholed? That's the only thing is I have to see like how would I guess I have to practice using it and build it into what I'm doing and see how it fits.
I would definitely do that, but also consider that it's okay if it pigeonholes you, because like let's just take mine. Speaking's the fastest way to grow your business. Well, most people think speaking is a stage,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
if you've been listening to my podcast, you hear me say over and over again, speaking needs to be redefined and stages needs to be redefined. So I don't have to explain everything in that phrase,
Mm.
but it says enough that people know, oh, Laurie-Ann has something to do with speaking, and she helps people grow their business.
Mm. Okay.
You know, it's to spur conversation, but also more importantly, in your speech, you are using it as if you are a lawyer, because you are going to be sharing points and information and stories within your speech, and you're ending with your catchphrase. And the point of your catchphrase also is, by the end of your speech, you've said it several times that your audience can repeat it back to you almost that last time that you say it. And I always tell people you get bonus points if it sings,
Okay.
if there's almost like a rhythm to it. That's not a requirement, but if you get to that point, yay.
Okay.
Just because it also becomes so much easier for you to say. And if it's easier for you to say, it starts to become easier for your audience to say.
Mm.
They don't
Mm.
fumble over the words either.
Okay. Okay.
That was fun. You got any other quick questions? Because we got a few more minutes.
Well, we started off by saying you had an idea or you had a thought about something, or
Oh
maybe I
my.
misunderstood. Do you have any suggestions? Maybe because you were also an executive leadership coach.
My butt.
Um, do you think that my two topics are relevant for audiences today?
I do think they're relevant. However, I think that there's also some other speeches that you could be advertising, so to speak, and letting people know. Because right now it's networking and navigating politics. And the only reason why I don't like the navigating politics is because every company's got an ego. And there's nothing wrong with our culture. We have the best culture. And I remember, I have to tell you this story. This is a side note that I actually heard. So in this area, there is a big law firm that does all like employment law. And so they have a daily thread that goes out, and it's just HR people, like they just share resources. And somebody once said, we have the best culture because of our health insurance, and like she listed off a bunch of benefits. And I was like, that's got nothing to do with your culture. Having good health insurance is like icing on the cake. If the cake is crappy, it's still a bad piece of cake. I don't care how you dress it up. The idea of having a great culture is really good cake.
Mm,
And it's that
mm,
frosting that's gonna really keep your people, but it's a good culture that's more important, that's gonna keep people.
mm,
So, I kinda like view this like navigating politics. How many HR people are gonna admit we have tough politics?
mm.
So.
You're right, but it counts for so much for the success.
Mhm.
So what you're saying is I have to find a way to.
I would like to see you doing talks on executive presence and communication.
Mm,
Okay. And I also think because we touched on this a little bit about how people can, like, when they're in this new position, they can feel a little less confident. They're a little uneasy. So, how about something about confidence, about those first 90 days?
mm,
So, you've
mm.
heard me talk like on your website, on your speaker page. I want you to have 3 speeches.
Yeah.
And these speeches could also be workshops that you can go into companies and do like lunch and learns.
Mm,
And especially since you work with women, like I have personally done leadership talks for large financial institutions. They're women only investors. And they had quarterly half day meetings, but had monthly meetings. And I was one of their guest speakers for one of their quarterly meetings.
mm. Okay. Yeah, and so what I'm taking away also is actually the way that to speak to HR also has to be a little bit different than the way if I'm marketing more to a B2B or B2C. It's like probably
Correct.
not the exact same thing. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
But also getting in with the upper level people,
Mm,
building those relationships because HR is a gatekeeper, but who's the person that's actually signing your check is probably the
yeah.
CEO,
Mm,
the person who is going to be that person's boss.
yeah.
So I think I can see you building relationships with HR, but also with top level management, leadership.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So what is 1 or 2 gold nuggets that you were walking with today?
Um so the first one is I definitely have to take into account something that people already know and are regularly or that are familiar with in terms of vocabulary, because I was going to educate on mental fitness, but I understand that that is probably too much work. So my first nugget is using something they can identify with already, which is executive presence. And then the second thing is that I really have to think carefully about my two targets B2B, B2C, it's might be like the underlying thing might be the same, but how I say it to those two different targets are probably
Absolutely.
different. So,
Absolutely. And treating them very differently.
yeah.
And a lot of times that's what I see a lot of new speakers, they're trying to, or even new people in business, they're trying to use one message that talks to everybody.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
let's get super specific.
yeah.
Super specific for that person's needs. I always say that you should have 3 different elevator pitches in your back pocket, depending
Mhm.
on who you're talking to. Somebody who can
Okay.
hire you, somebody who can refer you, and the CEO of a company.
Yeah. Mm,
So it almost sounds like, I always say 3, but it almost sounds like in your case, at least 2.
mm,
2 different ones. The actual client that no, actually, I'm gonna take that back. 3. The actual person who can hire you,
mm,
the actual HR department who can hire you, and the person who can refer you.
mm,
Like, this is not a good client of mine, but this is what I do.
mm. Okay.
Okay. Where can people find you, learn about you, follow you?
So I am very active on LinkedIn, Karen Gombault, Gombault. Also, same thing on Instagram, Karen Gombault Coaching. And I do have a podcast called Promoted Stop Doubting, Start Leading. Yes. Excited that that resonated. And it's on all the regular platforms.
Fantastic. And I hope that you are using your podcast to get booked on more speaking events and maybe even doing stuff like this, doing client success stories on your podcast, and
I
maybe
think
some
so.
other people who are just curious about working with you.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. So
Fantastic. Fantastic.
thank you,
Garrett, thank
Laurie-Ann,
you
your
so
advice.
much.
Yeah, no, thank you. You're always
Thank you.
amazing.
And if you would like to book your very own speaker breakthrough sessions, stick around. Are you tired of hearing crickets on social media? Wondering where to get seen by the right people? Or frustrated with the growth of your business? Then the Speaker Breakthrough Session is just for you. During this free 20-minute discovery call, I'll help you recognize where you're leaving money and opportunity on the table. You'll walk away with tips and a strategy to leverage speaking opportunities to get positioned as the expert, visible to the right people, and monetize your expertise. Book your call at speakandstandout.com/SBS for Speaker Breakthrough Session.